Welcome crafters! Today we're going to be making this granny square blanket. I'm going to show you how to create these super simple granny squares as well as some pumpkin appliques that we can put onto our granny squares. I saw these colors and I just knew I had to make a fall granny square blanket. Now you can use this granny square pattern to make any granny squares that you like, so you don't have to use these specific colors. You can pick and choose the colors you would like to use. In the video, I'll show you how to change colors in your granny square, so you can do all sorts of different patterns. It's up to you. So with that, let's get crafting. For this video, you'll need a 7mm hook. It's what I used. This loops and thread yarn suggests using an 8mm. However, I didn't have one of those, so I stuck with the 7. I used about 3.5 skeins of the beige, the forest green, and the mustard yellow color, and about 4 skeins of the pumpkin. You'll also need one more color to make the stem that you can see here. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this one and other fun crafting projects. To make the entire blanket, we're going to need to create 9 granny squares. 3 of the granny squares will be the solid colors of the beige, the mustard, and the green, and those are the squares we're going to attach the pumpkin appliques to. The other granny squares, we're going to change the colors inside to create this pattern. If you run out of one skein and need to attach another, you're going to need to know how to create the magic knot. So before we get crafting on this project, I'm just going to show you how to do a magic knot. I'm showing you here with 2 different colors just so you can easily see it. So you're going to need to loop one color over top of the other and then pull tight to make a knot. Then do the same again, loop one color over top like that, and then pull that tail through. Now you have 2 knots and you should be able to pull them together. After that, you can just cut off that extra yarn. To start our granny square off, we're going to make a slip knot. Then we're going to chain 5, so pull through 5 times. And slip stitch into that first stitch that we created. So pull the yarn through and through again. Then chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to double crochet 2 times into that center circle that we've created. To double crochet, yarn over 1 time, then you pull through 2 loops and pull through 2 more loops. Chain 1, and then you're going to double crochet 3 times into the center circle. So once again, you yarn over and then you pull through 2 and pull through 2 again. We're going to repeat this process, so chain 1 and double crochet 3 more times into that center circle. Repeat this once again, chain 1 and double crochet 3 times into the center circle. Chain 1, and to close off this circle, we're going to slip stitch into the top stitch of that first chain 3 that we did. Now I know I've said circle a couple of times, but it's going to start to look like a square after this next round. So start by chaining 3. Then we're going to double crochet 3 times into the same spot. It's going to be over the chain 1 we did, so in between the 3 double crochets of the last round. Chain 2 and double crochet 3 more times into that same space. Next, you're going to chain 1, and you can see we've created a corner. To create our next corner, we're going to go into the space where we did our chain 1 up from the previous round, in between those 3 double crochets on either side, and we're going to double crochet 3 more times. Then chain 2 and double crochet 3 more times into that same space we just did. And we're just going to repeat this process to create our next corner. So chain 1, and then you double crochet 3 times into the next space, which is where we had that chain 1 from the previous round in between the double crochets on either side. Chain 2 and then double crochet 3 more times into the same space to create that corner again. We've got one more corner to create our square, so chain 1 and then double crochet 3 times and go into that last space where we had that chain 1 from the previous round in between our 3 double crochets. Then you're going to chain 2 and double crochet only 2 times into the same space. And we're going to slip stitch into the second chain of our chain 3. So there'll be 1 chain left as a spacer in the top, which you'll see in just a sec. We're going to start this round by chaining 3 once again, then double crocheting 2 times into that open space at the top, so over top of that chain 1 from the previous round. We're going to chain 1 and then double crochet 3 times into the corner of our square. Chain 2 more times and then double crochet 3 more times into that same corner of our square. Then chain 1 time and double crochet 3 times into that top open space of the square. To expand our corner, once again, we're going to chain 1 and then double crochet 3 times into that corner. Chain 2 more times and then double crochet 3 more times into the same space to create that corner. So you might have noticed kind of a pattern by now. We have to chain 2 times when we have a corner to join our double crochets, but only 1 time when we want to go across the top of our square. So after you finish that corner, chain 1 and then double crochet 3 times into that next space. chain 1 and double crochet 3 times into the next corner. Then to complete that corner, you have to chain 2 and once again double crochet 3 more times into the same space. Chain 1 and then double crochet into that top space of our square 3 times. And to complete our last corner of this round, you're going to chain 1, then double crochet 3 times into that corner. Chain 2 and double crochet 3 more times into the same space. To finish this round, we're going to chain 1 and then you're going to slip stitch into the top stitch of that first chain 3 that we created. The next couple of rounds follow the same pattern. So you have to chain 1 when you go across the top of your square and chain 2 in the corner. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets form the corner. So to start the next round off, you're going to chain 3 and double crochet into the next open space on the top of your square. Once you've gone all the way around your square, once again following the exact same pattern we've been doing all along, then you can join back up with me for the end of this round. Finish this round off, we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to double crochet 2 times into the next open space on the top of our square. And we're going to slip stitch into the second stitch of our chain 3 that we created at the beginning of the round. To start the next round, you're going to chain 3. To continue this round, double crochet twice into that top space. Then chain 1 and double crochet 3 times into that next space at the top. And once again, just follow that same idea we've been doing all along. You chain 1 across the top and chain 2 when you hit the corners to connect your double crochets. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets form the corner. Once you've made it to the end of this round, join back up with me. To finish off this round, you're going to chain 1 and double crochet 3 times into that next top space. And lastly, chain 1 and then slip stitch into the top of that first chain 3 that we created. So you will have completed 5 rounds. Each square of this blanket has a total of 9 rounds. If you're starting with one of the solid granny squares, then you can just keep going following this exact same pattern that we've been doing all along. If not, I'm going to show you how to crochet the different pattern. So we'll need to change colors here. You can start with either of your next color for the next round, and then when you create another granny square, just start with the other color first. So finish off this square, pull a loop through, and then you can just cut and pull on your crochet hook to make that tight. To attach our next color, you can start in any space of your granny square. I'm going to start kind of in the middle here. I folded my yarn in half, pulled it through a space, then I pulled a loop through with both threads to attach it securely to this place. You're going to chain 2 and double crochet 2 times into the same space where we attached the yarn. Then you can go around your granny square again the same way we've done it with all the previous rounds. You only chain 1 when you're going across the top to connect your double crochets, and when you reach the corner, make sure you remember to chain 2 in the corner. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets form the corner. Once you reach the end of this round, you can join back with me. Finish off this round, you chain 1 and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 that we made at the beginning of this round. And finish off this round, so pull a loop through, and then you can cut your yarn and tug on your crochet hook. To attach the next color, we're going to do the same thing as the last. Fold the yarn over, pick a space and pull it through. And then you can pull a loop through to attach it securely and chain 2. Then you can double crochet 2 times into the same space. And like I've mentioned this entire video, we can just keep going following the same pattern. You chain 1 across the top to connect your 3 double crochets in each space, and when you get to the corner, make sure you remember to chain 2 inside that corner. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets form the corner. To reach the end of this round, you can join back up with me. Same as the last round. To finish it off, you just chain 1, slip stitch into the top of that first chain 3 that we created, and then you can finish off your round. To finish off, remember, pull a loop through, cut your yarn, and then you can pull on your crochet hook to pull that tail out. For round 8, we're going to attach the same color that we started with in the center. So fold your yarn over, pull it through one of those spaces, then you can pull a loop through with both threads of yarn and chain 2. Double crochet 2 times into that space where we just attached our yarn. Then you can go all the way around your square, completing this round, and once you're finished it off, you can join back up with me. To finish this round, chain 1, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that first chain 3 that we created. For the last round of our granny square, we're going to start by chaining 3 and double crochet 3 times into the next space over. Then we can continue as before, work the same pattern all the way around our granny square. And once you finish this round, you can join back up with me. To finish off this round, you double crochet twice into that last space and slip stitch into the second chain of the first chain 3 that we created. Then finish off the round by pulling one more loop through, cutting your yarn, and tugging on your crochet hook. So that completes one entire granny square with 9 rounds in it. So you'll have to go through and create the 8 other granny squares. Once you've created a solid granny square, then you can go to the next step in this video to make the pumpkin appliques that we're going to attach onto those solid colored granny squares. So we have to create 5 pieces for our pumpkin to attach them all together, 3 longer and 2 shorter pieces on the side. We're going to start with the long pieces in the middle. Create a slip knot. Then chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. pinch the chain 20 with your finger and then chain 6 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to triple treble crochet into that chain 20. So wind the yarn around 4 times around your hook, then go through that space, pull a loop through, and keep pulling through 2. So pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through the very last 2. You're going to triple treble crochet a total of 19 times down your chain that you created. So wind the yarn around 4 times, then you go through that chain stitch, pull a loop through, and keep pulling a loop through 2. So pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the last 2. Once you've done this 19 times total, then you can join back up with me. There should be 1 stitch left in our chain that we haven't gone through yet once you've finished those triple treble crochets. We're gonna chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then slip stitch into that last chain space that we have available. And finish off the pumpkin by pulling 1 more loop through, cutting your yarn, and then tugging on your crochet hook. Repeat this process 2 more times to create all 3 of the long pumpkin pieces that go in the middle of our pumpkin. To start our smaller side pumpkin piece, we're going to create a slip knot. Then chain 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and grab that 16th spot, then chain 6 more. And triple treble crochet into that chain 16. So wind your yarn around 4 times, go through that 16th spot, pull a loop through, then pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the last 2. You're going to triple treble crochet a total of 15 times down this chain. Once you've completed that, you can join back up with me. Just like how we did our larger pumpkin pieces, you should have one stitch left at the end of your chain. Then you're going to chain 6 and slip stitch through that last chain spot that we have. And finish off this pumpkin part by pulling a loop through, cutting your yarn, and then give a tug on your crochet hook. You're going to repeat this one more time to create the other small side piece for the pumpkin. Once you have all your pieces, then we can start to join them together. We're going to start by joining the 3 long center pieces together first, then join the outside smaller pieces. Start by creating a slip knot. Then line your pumpkin pieces up. I'm going to put the finished off ends at the same end together. I'm going to go in through where we did those triple treble crochets. So through that top stitch of those triple treble crochets. And then we're going to single crochet 19 times all the way down our pumpkin pieces. So pull through and then pull through those 2 loops. Then you can go into the next space, which is the top of that next triple treble crochet in both pumpkin pieces. Pull a loop through and then pull through those 2 loops. I've tried to line my tails up, as you can see here, in order to hide those tails so I don't have to weave them in later. Once you've single crocheted 19 times down those long pumpkin pieces over each triple treble crochet, then you can join back up with me. Once you've made it to the end, then you can finish off by pulling a loop through, cutting your yarn, and giving a tug on your crochet hook. Then you have to repeat this one more time to attach the other long pumpkin piece. Make sure you line up your pumpkin piece correctly so that the stitch goes on the front like the other one and it's not backwards. After you've done that, we're going to connect the smaller pumpkin piece. For our smaller pumpkin piece, we want to leave 2 spaces up from the bottom. So it'll attach 2 spaces up from the bottom of the larger pumpkin piece. To start this round, create a slip knot. Then you're going to go through the top of the pumpkin pieces again, but to go through the smaller pumpkin piece, you're going to go through that first chain on your chain 6, so not through the triple treble crochet like we did before. Go through that chain space that we made in the top chain 6, and then go through the treble crochet space of the longer pumpkin piece. And similar to before, you're going to single crochet to attach your pumpkin pieces together. Do this 17 times all the way down. Once you've made it to the end, you're going to utilize that chain 6 row on the bottom of your small pumpkin piece. So go through that top stitch of the chain 6 you have there from the small pumpkin piece and through the last triple treble crochet, which should be 2 spaces up from the bottom of your large pumpkin. To finish off the round, just pull a loop through, cut your yarn, and then you give a tug on your crochet hook. Then you have to repeat this process one more time to attach the other small pumpkin piece to the other side. Once again, just be careful how you attach it. You want to see those stitches down the front of your pumpkin. Then you're going to want to weave in all those extra ends from your pumpkin. You can cut the ones off that we already hid through our single crochet stitches down the pumpkin pieces, but you'll have to weave in those other ends that we did not hide down the pumpkin yet. The next thing we're going to do is create the stem for our pumpkin. I'm going to attach the stem up at the top part of our pumpkin where all the pumpkin pieces are even, not at the bottom where we had that chain 2 up from the bottom when we connected our outer pumpkin pieces. So start by creating a slip knot. We're going to go in through the top of one of our outer long pumpkin pieces. So through that last spot on our chain 6 row, we're gonna single crochet into this space. So pull the yarn through and then pull through that chain 2 and chain 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to treble crochet 11 times across our pumpkin through each of the next chain spaces. So wind your yarn round twice, go through the next space, pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through the last 2. Once again, yarn over twice, go through the next stitch, pull the loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2 more. Keep going with this all the way across the top of our pumpkin, and once you've completed that, then you can join back up with me. Once you've completed those treble crochet stitches, you want to turn your work, so flip your pumpkin over, then you're going to chain 1. And we're going to slip stitch 11 times across the top of our pumpkin stem. So pull a loop through and through again, and keep going until you're all the way across the top of that pumpkin stem. Once you reach the end, you can finish off, so pull 1 loop through, cut your yarn, and then you can give a tug on your crochet hook. You're going to want to weave in the ends of your pumpkin stem before you keep going. So grab your tapestry needle and weave those ends in. Okay, and now it's time to make the leaf and the twirl for our pumpkin. Start by creating a slip knot. Then chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Pinch that chain 12 and chain 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to double crochet into that chain 12. So yarn over, pull a loop through, pull through 2, and pull through 2 more. Double crochet 1 more time into the next stitch. Then single crochet down the rest of our chain. So go through the next stitch, pull a loop through, and pull through 2. And keep going with this. Through the next stitch, pull a loop through, and pull through 2. Do this a total of 10 times all the way down the rest of our chain that we have. Once you finish that, join back up with me. We're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to slip stitch across into the bottom of our chain 1 that we did. Then chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over and then go through, pull a loop through, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Then treble crochet, so yarn over twice, go through the next stitch, pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2 more. Now we're going to double treble crochet, so yarn over 3 times, go through the next stitch, you're going to pull a loop through, then pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2 more. And then we're going to triple treble crochet into the next 2 stitches, so yarn over 4 times, go through the next stitch, you're going to pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, keep pulling through 2, 2, and the last 2. And do this 1 more time, yarn over 4 times, go through the next stitch, pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, keep pulling through 2 till you reach the end. Then we're going to double treble crochet, so yarn over 3 times, go into the next stitch, pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, keep pulling through 2, and then we're going to treble crochet, yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the last 2. Then double crochet 1 time, just yarn over once, then you pull a loop through, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Single crochet, so go through, and then pull a loop through 2. To create our twirl, we're going to start by chaining 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to single crochet 3 times down and then 2 times into that 4th stitch. So start by single crocheting 3 times down, pull a loop through, and then pull through 2. Then you're going to single crochet twice into the same stitch. And single crochet 3 more times down your chain. Then once again, you're going to single crochet 2 times into the same stitch. And single crochet 3 more times down our chain. After you've done this, you should notice that you've created a nice little twirl. We're going to slip stitch into where we had those double crochets, and we're going to slip stitch 1 more time into the top of the next double crochet that's at the end there. Then you're going to go through that last part of your stem, so at the very end, through the double crochet and between that chain 3. You're going to count out 4 pieces of your pumpkin stem. You're going to go through the back side of that as well. And then you're going to single crochet 3 times. So pull a loop through and pull through 2. After you've done those single crochets, you can finish off by pulling 1 more loop through, cutting your yarn, and then giving a tug on your crochet hook. You're then going to want to take your tapestry needle and weave in those ends back into the leaf. Once you've completed that, then we're ready to attach our pumpkin applique to one of our solid colored granny squares. To attach the pumpkin applique, you can really place it anywhere you like on your granny square. What I did was place it, I attached it 5 holes down into that corner there, and then only 4 from the bottom to the other corner of the pumpkin. And 2 holes up kind of from the bottom and 2 up from the stem, and just 1 on either side of the pumpkin. If you want, you can pin your applique in place before you start to sew it on. I decided not to do this. I just decided to sew it right on, And when I was sewing it on, I did have to stretch my pumpkin a little bit in order to make it fit into the dimensions that I wanted. You'll need quite a long piece of yarn through your tapestry needle. And what we're going to do is start in the very top corner by the stem of our pumpkin and go through the front stitch of our granny square, so it's not going to show up in the back. You have to go through the front part of the stitch of those double crochets that we did in the granny square. You'll see that I pulled both pieces of yarn through since I had folded it in half, and now I have to pull one of these pieces of yarn through the hole, so only one piece is left sticking through, and it leaves a nice long tail for me to use afterwards. Then you can take your tapestry needle and come back through the next stitch of the pumpkin. And once again, go through the pumpkin and through just the front part of that double crochet stitch so it won't show up on the back of our granny square. So you're going to do this all the way around your pumpkin. Just keep weaving back and forth and only using that front stitch of your double crochet. Once you get to the end and you're near the other side of the pumpkin at the stem, then you can join back up with me. Once you've reached the end, then we're going to create a slip knot right in that corner where we pulled our thread through. And we're going to slip stitch behind the pumpkin stem into one of those double crochets of our granny square. Then you can finish off by pulling one more loop through, giving your crochet hook a tug to pull that tail all the way through, and then you can cut it off. And you're going to want to repeat this on the other side. Then we want to sew the stem down of our applique and use the exact same technique that we did with our pumpkin. So just go through that front stitch of your double crochet and weave back and forth. For each loose end, you can create a slip knot, and this time you're going to do a single crochet into the stem of the pumpkin piece and finish off by pulling one more loop through and then giving your crochet hook a tug. Then you can repeat this on the other side. And then we're just going to weave those extra ends in. So go back and forth a few times and then you can cut off that extra tail. And that's one fully completed pumpkin granny square. So all you have to do is create 2 more of these to complete the pattern, and then we can sew our granny squares together. To sew our granny squares together, we're going to start by making a slip knot. And then we're going to go into the corner of our granny square through that top stitch on both sides. And then we're going to single crochet, so you're going to pull a loop through and then pull through 2 loops. And then you're going to do this all the way down your granny square, so single crochet into each stitch moving down the granny square. Once you get to the end of these 2 granny squares, join back up with me. Once you've reached the end, then place your next 2 granny squares down beside the ones you just sewed together. And you're going to continue single crocheting all the way down to join these ones up. As you're joining these squares together, if there's any tails from the squares, you can try to lay them against the square so you can essentially weave those ends in without having to use the tapestry needle. Once you finish single crocheting all the way down these squares, then you place your next 2 squares after that. So you'll have the 3 squares in a row all joined together in one long chain. Once again, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, and then we can continue to create more crafting projects together. Once you get all the way to the end, then you're going to want to finish off by pulling a loop through, cutting, and then tugging on your crochet hook. So it should look like this, just one long chain down the center of your squares all together. Attach the green to the yellow squares next, then you're gonna go across. Make one long chain just like we did with the previous one I showed. Then you can move on to attaching the white, the yellow, and the green together. You're going to chain down the squares the same way to join the yellow, the white, and the green. And when you get to the corners, you just crochet, single crochet over top of the previous chain that we made into the next corner. Before we add our border, you have to weave in all the extra ends that you'll have on the back side of your blanket. So go back and forth 3 or 4 times to make sure they're weaved in nice and solid. The ends that we created from chaining our squares together, they can be left since you can actually crochet those into the border. To start our border, we're going to make a slip knot. Start at one of the corners of the blanket, go in through that corner, and you're going to slip stitch into the corner. Then you're going to chain 2, so pull through 1 and 2, and half double crochet into the corner. So yarn over and then pull through 3. You're going to half double crochet into each stitch all along the top of the blanket, and once you get to the next corner of your blanket, just join back up with me. To half double crochet, just remember you yarn over once and then you pull through all 3 loops. So just keep going all the way down the entire length of the blanket. Now that you've made it to the next corner of the blanket, you're going to half double crochet into that corner. Then you can chain 2 and half double crochet again into the corner of the blanket. Then you can continue the same as before, go all the way across the top of the blanket into each stitch doing a half double crochet. Once you've gone around your entire blanket and you're back at the first corner we started in, then join back up with me. Now that we're back at that first corner we started in, we're going to half double crochet into the corner. And we're going to slip stitch into the top of that half double crochet that we did inside the corner. Then we're going to chain 2 and half double crochet into the corner. So for this next part, we are going to half double crochet again, but we're going to use the back stitch of our previous round of half double crochets. So you need to look on the back side of your blanket and you'll see that there's a stitch kind of going across. So you're going to half double crochet into that stitch there on the back side. And you're going to continue to do this all the way down the length of your entire blanket. So half double crochet using that back stitch all the way down. Now you can really see the border start to form, so just keep going, and once you make it to the corner of the blanket, then you can join back up with me. Sorry about the blurred camera for this next part. Unfortunately, it went a little bit out of focus when I was filming this part, so I'll do my best just to explain it verbally. So once you're at the very corner of your blanket, you're going to half double crochet into the corner of your blanket. So we're not using that back stitch, we're going right into the corner of our blanket. We're going to chain 2 and then half double crochet again right into the corner of the blanket. So it's the same as how we did the first round when we were going around our blanket to create the border. So you can keep going all the way around your blanket doing half double crochets using that back stitch, and then once you get to the corner, just remember you go into the corner. Once you've gone all the way around, you can join back up with me when you make it back to the corner that we started on. Once you've half double crocheted into the very last corner, then you can chain 2 and slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the corner. After that, you can finish off, so pull one more loop through, cut your yarn, and then give your crochet hook a tug. All that's left is to weave in those last ends. Congrats on finishing this blanket. I hope you enjoyed creating it as much as I did. Well, thanks for joining me in creating this granny square blanket. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe for more videos so we can make more projects together like this.